Trump's administration secretly met with Alberta separatists, promised $500 billion, and Mark Carney destroyed the entire plan with one strategic move that kept Alberta in Canada forever. Trump thought Alberta was the perfect target, an oil-rich province, a conservative population angry at Ottawa, and a government he believed could be pushed into breaking away. His Treasury Secretary even called Alberta a natural American partner. State Department officials held secret meetings, offered a $500 billion credit line, and everything seemed to line up for Trump's dream scenario. Peel Alberta away from Canada, turn it into the 51st state, and take the oil without taking the whole country. Then Carney made one move that shattered the entire plan. He signed a strategic agreement that gave Alberta what it actually wanted: economic freedom, energy expansion, and long-term growth inside Canada. Suddenly, 456,000 Albertans signed petitions saying they wanted to stay Canadian. Trump's $500 billion offer became worthless. The separatist movement collapsed. Alberta chose Canada. Trump's plan died. Today we show you exactly how Carney destroyed Trump's Alberta strategy, what Trump's administration promised separatists in secret meetings, why 45600 Albertans rejected American money, and how giving provinces what they want defeats foreign interference better than any confrontation ever could. This is how Canada kept Alberta, and this is how Trump learned you cannot buy provinces that feel respected. Before we dive into the full story, if you appreciate in-depth analysis like this, hit that like button and subscribe to stay informed on the stories that truly matter. The Financial Times broke the story. Trump's State Department officials reportedly met with the Alberta Prosperity Project 3 times since last April. This is a far-right group pushing for an Alberta independence referendum. The meetings were not casual. They had a clear agenda. The separatist leaders who attended included Mitch Sylvester, United Conservative Party constituency president Jeffrey Rath, and legal figures connected to the independence campaign. Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent publicly called Alberta a natural partner for the United States. He praised Alberta's resources, described Albertans as independent people, and openly referenced the possibility of a referendum. He said people want sovereignty, and they want what the United States has. Jeffrey Rath later confirmed the meetings and posted that the separatists plan to request a $500 billion credit line from the United States Treasury to support the transition to a free and independent Alberta. That number was not speculation. It was a serious proposal, and it fit perfectly into Trump's broader strategy of destabilizing allies, expanding American influence, and securing resources. The pattern was obvious. Trump threatened Greenland, called Canada the 51st state, and now his officials were meeting separatists in Alberta while offering massive financial backing. Across Canada, the reaction was immediate. British Columbia Premier David Eby called it treason. He said going to a foreign country and asking for assistance in breaking up Canada is not politics, it is betrayal. Other premiers urged unity, and the message was clear: foreign interference in Canadian sovereignty was unacceptable. Carney responded carefully but firmly. He said he expects Trump's administration to respect Canadian sovereignty, and made it clear he had directly communicated this position to Trump. Even Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, despite her pro-Trump reputation and past friendly gestures, drew a hard line. She stated that Alberta's democratic process should remain strictly between Albertans and Canadians. At the same time, Alberta separatists were trying to collect signatures. They needed 177,000 by May to trigger a referendum. On paper it looked possible, but the reality was different. Polls showed only about 19% of Albertans supported immediate independence. Many of the signatures were symbolic, more protest than real separation. Even the separatist political party performed poorly in elections, revealing that the movement was loud but small. Then Carney made the move that changed everything. Instead of escalating tensions, he gave Alberta what it had been demanding for years: energy freedom, major infrastructure momentum, and a new national approach that treated Alberta as essential rather than disposable. Key regulations were suspended, pipeline discussions advanced, emissions pressure eased, and major projects were prioritized. Smith called it the end of the dark times. Carney received standing ovations in Calgary, something nearly unheard of for a Liberal Prime Minister. The agreement did something separatists could not survive. It removed Alberta's biggest grievance. The province no longer felt trapped, and once Alberta felt respected, the independence narrative collapsed. The biggest part of the shift was strategic. A pipeline and export strategy toward Asia would allow Alberta to diversify away from the United States. Canada currently exports the majority of its oil to America, leaving Alberta vulnerable to American politics, American threats, and Trump's tariff leverage. Carney's plan changed the equation. Asia needs energy, and Alberta's heavy crude is ideal for many Asian refineries. A serious export route means Alberta can sell at global prices, secure long-term stability, and stop being dependent on one market. That long-term value is worth far more than Trump's one-time $500 billion promise. Then came the final blow. A new citizen initiative called Alberta Forever Canada launched a petition asking one simple question: do you agree Alberta should remain in Canada? By October 28, the results were historic. 456,000 signatures, more than double the required threshold. It was not just enough to win, it was enough to bury separatism politically. While separatists struggled to reach their target, the unity petition surged across Alberta, Calgary, Edmonton, Red Deer, Lethbridge, Grande Prairie, urban and rural communities, young and old voters. The message was unmistakable. Albertans were not interested in becoming Americans. They were interested in prosperity, respect, and control. And Carney delivered that inside Canada. That is why Trump's plan failed. Trump assumed Alberta's anger meant Alberta wanted to leave. But Albertans did not want separation. They wanted Ottawa to listen. Trump offered money. Carney offered a future. Trump offered interference. Carney offered partnership. Trump offered a deal that would turn Alberta into a political pawn. Carney offered a strategy that made Alberta stronger while keeping it Canadian. That is why the separatist movement collapsed. That is why Trump's $500 billion became meaningless. And that is why Alberta stayed in Canada. Trump tried to buy Alberta. Carney made Alberta proud to stay, and 456,000 Albertans signed their names to prove it.